Hi, in this video I'm going to cover my first impressions of the Art Philosophy Confetti set by Prima Marketing. Prima has been a popular brand among crafters, and their 12-color half-pan sets are often recommended to beginners as an affordable watercolor option. This new set contains 24 colors for about the same price as their 12-color set. I could not find any duplicates for color names in their other sets. This one appears to contain a unique color selection. The first thing I noticed when I opened this set was a simple style tin. I assume they passed along some of the cost savings due to this lesser quality container with no individual half-pan trays. Instead, it has a flexible single plastic tray with a mini-size water brush. I have not wanted to do a review on my older Prima sets because I know a lot of people love them, but I personally did not have a good experience. I avoided buying any new Prima products for a while now, but I have heard several artists mention that they have made improvements over the years. These paints definitely do perform better than the sets I got when they first started making watercolors. My old sets had issues like not flowing well, and the paints used to be hard to re-wet with an unusual rough gravel kind of texture. A few years ago, none of the sets came with pigment information, so it was hard to know if a color was appropriate for art to hang on a wall, or if it was just meant for card making and sketchbooks. It was all just labeled as artist quality, and I didn't find out until testing them that they contained a lot of fugitive colors. The set comes with a color chart and pigment information, which really made me happy, until it caused me a lot of frustration due to being full of typos. Before I elaborate on this, know that in the end, I actually do end up enjoying these paints. But while I swatch them out, I'll talk a bit about lightfastness and pigment codes. I realize that may not be an important issue for some people, so if you want to skip ahead a few minutes to the still image of the color chart, I'll talk about the upsides, do some color mixing, and paint a couple of easy last-minute Christmas cards. Okay, so I was really looking forward to being able to swatch these with their pigment codes so I could compare them to other brands' paints that use the same pigments. Unfortunately, there were enough mistakes that I feel like I can't really trust any of the information is accurate. They did not include lightfast ratings, and I can see that some of the pigments are prone to fading, like the PO13, 16, 34, PY14, and the PR23. I expected that this set was made to be very affordable, vibrant, and aimed at card making and not so much fine art hung on walls, so I'm okay with that. However, if a company is going to bother including a pigment chart, the lack of care put into the pigment numbers on this chart is quite sad. I raised an eyebrow when the bright lemon yellow was noted as mixed with black PBK7, which makes me wonder if they switched the pigment info with the NS color that uses the same yellow, but is marked as mixed with a white, yet it looks darker, not lighter. Wild Strawberry has a very red-pink appearance, yet it is noted as only containing orange pigments. It's like a red ingredient was not labeled. I assume there's a typo on wood since it says PB25, but this is a brown, not a blue, so it's likely meant to be PBR25. Even the white is noted as having black PBK7, but it is a nice clean white that is likely just titanium white PW6. There are also several colors that seem like they are mixed with a little white, but do not note that. The Denim color says it uses the same phthalo PB15 as the other blue. However, Denim has a gentle granulation and easily lifts, meaning it's far more likely to be ultramarine blue, which is PB29, and not mentioned anywhere on this chart. There are several colors that are very similar to each other, like the browns and pinks, but otherwise I was pretty happy with the color selection. The white is actually opaque and ended up being useful for highlights, like snow or stars, which I was able to use instead of a gel pen. Some colors are noted as mixed with white, but this is to a small enough degree that the color is slightly muted but not very opaque. I ended up being pleasantly surprised that the paints were not chalky. The binder seems to be of a good quality, resulting in easy to re-wet paints with a nice flow and a normal texture reaction to salt. Most of the colors are transparent and none of them rub off on your finger if you touch the dry painting. These paints mix well, with multiple options for primary mixing trios. While there is a pre-made purple, you can mix your own lovely vibrant purples using the pinks and blues. There are multiple ways to get skin tones and alternate greens. The color selection is overall balanced, and I felt free to paint any subject matter I wanted. As Christmas approaches, I realized I needed a couple extra cards, and this set is perfect for that. Being in a hurry, I set out to make easy cards that take minimal drawing and can be completed in about 10 minutes. I use a circle maker tool, but you could use a dish or other round object to trace. The simple shape of an ornament or snow globe is perfect for the winter holidays. For each of the cards, the sky was left to dry before finishing the rest of the painting. The paints were lovely for wet-on-wet blending, with no unusual surprises. For the pine trees, use a small round brush, gently wiggling your brush slightly at the top of the tree and a little wider towards the bottom. You can take great care to make realistic tree shapes, but I find that these quick gestures are good enough to be identifiable as trees with very little drawing skill required. I found this theme to be a relaxing, low-pressure idea that was enjoyable to paint. The Prima set is a nice option for holiday card making. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Happy holidays.